You want to say it?
بخواب نه
ربی شیمون ربی آبا و ربی آزار ربی ایسا همه شخیه به پینخاس بن یایر. So ربی شیمون ربی آبا و ربی آزار و ربی ایسا. So again we just saying Rabbi Abba was it was extremely high Neshama. He was the right hand of the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He was the one that wrote the Zohar. Rabbi Shimon would say it, Rabbi Abba would write it, and then his son Elazar he was same caliber, but who was writing it? It was Rabbi Abba. So they were sitting together with Rabbi Yitzchak. And they went to the house of Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, right? Amar Rabbi Pinchas to Rabbi Shimon, the Matu Menach, I beg of you, and to Uval Alach La'ela, Atosh Somkim Alecha Lemala, the Anu Shem Regaim Uduvalcha Lemala, the Yutam the Chonim Abitim. He says, and you, Nishamayim, Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, he asks, he begs Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he says, look, in Shomayim, whatever you say, it goes. Sadiq Gozer, Baruch Hu Mekayem. Now, I want to Imilach B'Tgarya, V'Dorcha Ne'emarim B'Galui, and whatever you say is revealed, V'lo Yidyechiv, V'Shlo Lebanash Acharot, and there is no other person who give permission to reveal this sodot except you, right? בפרשותה דה אימא מילה חטאתה אמור דבר חדש בפרשותו. So say something new. Give us a chidush. Chidush about this parsha, right? Rabbi Pinchas asked Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Amar le Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Pinchas umayhi be'ez parasha. Amar le Zohar Hakadosh. Give us the Torah about. Give us a chidush in parsha for Zohar Hakadosh. Amar le Rabbi Shimon, ha shor chavrai u'yomru techlo yomru shor chavreim. So he said Rabbi Shimon was extremely honored, even though he was very high Madrega. So let's the other friends say it. Amar Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Elazar Berei, Elazar Chom Bekumach, Ve'imam B'miyach Chal Perfushut. My son, get up and say a chidush about this parasha. Ve'chavrim Yemrun Ibatrech. Ve'chavrim Yemrun Acharecha. And the other people in the circle, they say something chidush after you, right? Well, now Rabbi Elazar does, but actually only Rabbi Elazar made it drasha, and his other friends didn't say. Perush pasuk the lifnim beIsrael kechayom nohag mikodem beIsrael al yehgeula hayom mecher. So there's a concept that we're going to talk about right now. In the olden days, when they wanted to do the transaction, right? They used to do with nal, with sandal. With sandal. They were taking out the shoe, and they were making a transaction through that. Okay, so and that's why with the chalisah, we have the same concept of chalisah, that the person, the woman, if the husband, the brother of the husband doesn't want to do the yibum, right? He takes off the shoe of the lady takes off from the husband, from the brother, right? So the thing is, this is a sword. According to sword, this is a very important sword in this thing when a person does that. So the same thing about doing business. They used to do the same thing. It would be the shoe. Okay, so he's going to talk about this. I don't know how far we're going to get there, but this is the concept he's going to talk about, right? Alegula iyon necher, v'atemura iyon charifin. That you wanted to get something. You use im shnei anashim hayu rosim le'achlif et hadavar, im zeh le'chaim al davar, shalach ish min'alo. So if they wanted to, like in Iran, they used to do a handshake. But back then, I don't know about that, but back then, if someone would do a handshake, that was it. It was a deal, right? I mean, they would never back out. They didn't have to write anything, no contract or nothing. That was it. So the guy would do it with the same way with that handshake. Here, what they used to do in the olden time, in the time of Gemara, in the time of Beit HaMikdash, they would, in order to show that they want to do transaction, they would take off the shoe.
Right.
And that would be sign of transaction. خلاص اخاد مهم ادنى رو. The person would take off his shoe. ومناتن له. And he'll get to the other person. وعزيزن ندخنا هدواب لكنا. That means they made transaction. He would of course get back, but the transaction would be like that. He would take off his shoe and give it to the other guy, right? كأن شأن وسيل هيوم بكيان صدار شهود كيان خلوفين. The same thing we do, like we see sometime when you want to say chametz, you give sudar, the handkerchief, and you give it and you raise it and you sell the chametz that way, right? So it's the same concept. Or you give it, sometimes you give pen or whatever. It's a chilufin, so that's one part of the transaction. And all them days in the Kutam of Gemara, they were doing with the Nalaim, right? ויש מחלוקת בחז"ל מי נותן למס. There's a מחלוקת he's saying that who will give to who, right? In הקונה למוכר, if the buyer give it to the seller or seller give it to the buyer, right? וזאת התעודה מישראל שהיו מייחדים עדים על זה שיהודה הנקרא הקניין. And it would be like a final touch, micro patish of the word that this transaction is done. It's a done deal by doing that. They were
by giving shoe.
They give a shoe, or now the question is they will have to look at the halakha how they were doing it, but it's Chazan, they had a who was taking off the shoe to give to who? Koneh lemocher, mocher lekoneh. Okay? Now he said, Kar Elazar and Elazar. So Elazar, so this was the introduction. So we can understand Elazar. V'amar leforesh inyan para Aduma. So now he comes and explains the para Aduma, right? So he says, Al hamalchut ve'ivdim le'inyan echad harumez again ke al malchut v'amar. They're talking, referring para Aduma regarding the malchut, right? So now he's going to talk about. He says, "Zot וזאת יפנים בישראל על הגאולה ועל הצימורה ולחיים, על כל דבר שרב איש נעלו נתן ללומדו." And he says this should be for the geula, right? And the temura, right? The exchanging to do what? Shalaf ish na'alo natan lehu. The person will take off his fuel and give to his friend, right? For the business transaction. Ha bara itlis sekla. Now we have to delve in this and understand. So this is Rabbi Elazar is saying that let's delve in this concept, and he's trying to tie this with Paradama. Okay, right. So see what he say. inun قد ما يبدو هسکم داود دینا و اورایتا این یک دمون اساس هسکم زو هنوز شتاب نو بنیام بکن زود بنود کل دوار ایده نه ولی بود کن بدین تورا اینو حالا خال مشابه تورا شرپه. So if this is the Chachamim, the Kenim from the time of the Torah, they established this from this is Torah Shabbat Halacham Sinai. The Chachamim say that this is the way it's supposed to be done, right? This is Halacham Sinai, right? To do transaction by taking off the shoe. Auto Batra Betula and the Achronim, they came and they basically voided this minhag, right? But they became on Sudar, and they did what we call a Sudar with the handkerchief. They didn't do it anymore. They did with the Sudar, handkerchief. And my people, why did they nullify this Torah Halakha Sinai? What did they nullified it? The whole man the bottom middle the oraita. Okay, do Kharab Amar Shalem. So we know if somebody Khatab Shalom nullifies or a word of Torah, right, is as if you destroyed the whole world. So how is it possible? How is it possible? Chachamim they went around and they nullify a law that was Halakha Me'ar Sinai, Moshe Me'ar Sinai, right? והרי מי שבטח הדבר מתורה, שלא כאילו בחיים, לא יהוד בקדיון דאורייתא, ואם כעניין נעלו היום מדין תורה, אלא הסכמה בעלמא, right? So he's saying, if it was not Midraita, right? It was just something that Chachamim just made it as a minhag, right? Question still comes. So he's saying, if it's Midraita, it was Midraita Na'a, right? So how could the Chachamim nullified it? And let's say it was just Chachamim, they did it, what we call it in Hebrew, Horat Sha'ah. Horat Sha'ah is what? You make a halacha for a certain time period, right? And then later on you nullify it. There's the concept called Horat Sha'ah. Horat Sha'ah is Chachamim. They usually, in the Torah, you don't do it. But for the certain period of time, Chachamim, they make this tekana for Israel, and they say it's just for a period of time. Okay? So he says, if that's the case, that they just made a tekana for a short period of time, why did they did it with the na'al? Why did it with na'al, but not anything else? Okay? So na'al has now, he's going to say na'al has, the shoe has a special, what's the word?
Connection.
Yeah, it represents something very important.
It's tuma though. I don't know why they do it. You have to like wash your hands every time you touch the shoes.
Right,
so like you're gonna do a money transaction, you're like tuma like every time.
But there is the shoe itself is not tuma. But if you touch the top of it, if it's not clean, you could do it.
Oh.
Yeah, but if you touch the bottom, the problem.
It's the bottom, but if you pick it up.
Right. But you have to wash it. Like if you let's say you wanna tie your shoelaces, you don't have to. If it's not dirty, you don't have to wash your hand. But if you touch it, the place that is dirty, whatever, you have to do it.
Oh, I thought you did, because I thought like if you wake up and you want to wash bread, so you should do morning washing and then touch your shoe and then wash again for bread.
If you want to touch the bottom.
You have to touch the bottom?
Places that are that's why I think one time I asked him, the shoelace I don't think is the problem. So the shoelace is not a problem, but the other part is the problem. The place that is tameh is dirt or whatever, that's going to be a problem for the other part, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now, here he's saying, so this is according to Elazar. He's being Elazar in this one. He says, so the question is, so why Chachamim made this tekana? So he's asking in two ways, and who is asking this question is Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon. So he says, כדי שבזה השם, נביא מאמר הבא מה שכתוב אליעזר, בעושת חיים דורשות הונאה. So he says, in order for us to understand, let's look up the Sefer Osat Chaim that Elazar wrote on the word הונאה, שכל אור עליון שהוא משפיע לשמטה ממנו נקרא מוכר. Now now he'll be going to the sword, okay? So he said, any or elyon that comes to downward to bring, which is we call it, all those orod, they are brachot, right? All the or, when it says or elyon, right? Muchim, all of them are different kind of brachot that Hashem is going to carry or to this world, right? It says it's called mucher. Mocher. Now Mocher, so just remember that Mocher, now this comes back to what you're doing. You want to sell, right? So that or Elyon is called Mocher, right? Right? והתחתון מרבל מהמוכר והגונן נקרא לוקח. The person that's in the bottom that receives this or Elyon is called לוקח. Okay? You understand? So this is Mocher. Now it's not referring only to us. Remember that. Because or Elyon that is talking about in the Osat Chaim, right? Is talking about, try to give you a little introduction real quick on that. It's talking about Hakadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create the world. In order for us to be able to somehow relate with the Hakadosh Baruch Hu, he had to create different worlds, and brings his all misamsem or he minimizes his holy beings into those neshamot, so we would be able somehow be able to relate to him. Otherwise, just from there to us, you couldn't. So when this orot comes, who are receiving it first? All the Olamat Shel Then we get it, okay? So those also are Lokeyach. So Mocher ve-Lokeyach, okay? So that's what he's saying. So Mocher ve-Lokeyach, right? Hello Lokeyach, but we know Mentadon, שכל מסרתו הוא כאין ייחוד וחיבור בין המוכר ולוקח. So from here we learn, right, all the transaction is like some kind of unification between מוכר ולוקח. So this concept is taken from it's like you get unified. Because the Elyon, right, is going to say sometimes this Sephirah comes and sits on this other Sephirah, right? This is more detailed, but they become connected, right? So this is called Or Elyon is Mocher, and the person, the other part receiving is called Lokeyach, and then when they basically receive it, they get together, right? So what happens is there's a chibur. The unification. Not like in Shamot Yonim that they are connecting, not that kind, but there's a certain connection. You understand the difference? The other one is the Shamot, says the Ampere and where they have to get connected, unified, and be together all the time, right? This is different kind of connection. This is the Or Elyon comes, and the people, the other Sephirot, they are receiving it, the receiver somehow gets connected, but not as similar as the Zohar Hakadosh. Okay. Now he says, "Moshe Elo Vaday Bedina Deoraita Hava Elo Vaday Kinyon Na'al Hayom Midin Torah." So he says, so I am going to tell you that which one was the correct one? Is it Midraita, this minhag of Na'al, or is it from the, or it was just Gezerah Chamim or Hora Sha'ah? So he says no. Do you know what? It was Midraita. That's what he's saying. And he answers himself. It was like a rhetorical question. Which one is? He knew the answer already, right? But he's saying what? It is Midraita, it's Zohar Hakadosh in Sinai, with the Gezerah Chachamim. And then he answered himself. He says, well, but for sure, that it was So if that's the case, now we have to address his question. His question was what? How is it possible, right? A person change or nullify a halakha in Torah, right? Because if he does it, we said that the ulama will get destroyed, right? So how is it? So that's his question.
That's a good question.
So that's what he's trying to answer now. Okay, okay. בתור של הפה, היינו, שתמלוא הלכה למשה מסיני, בתור של הפה, וזאת התעודה בישראל, שהיא התעודה של הפה, אשר שהיא עדות נאמנה על ישראל, שהיא סגולה לנושא, שגם מסר להם המסתורים שלו. So he said that this is like some kind of certificate, right? This whole concept of doing it is like a dude for the transaction,
testimony,
and it is a certificate that you are certified you did the transaction, and this na'al is basically is like a certificate to this and like something testifying to that effect, right? That transaction is done, right? But they did it, which people did for the Sod Elyon, begin the Habech at Ma'al Chasidai Zakaya. So now, this is the same concept that we're going to say is the same thing about Yibum. Yibum, right? In the beginning, the Chachamim, the Torah says it's very big mitzvah to do Yibum, right? Mitzvah Yibum. So if that's this Yibum was so important, how come they nullified later on? So the answer they say is because in the beginning, Chachamim they were extremely the Anashim would say when they want to do this Yibum, what they would say when they want to So they said in the beginning when they were doing this Yibum, right? The man that was doing it, the brother was doing it, he was saying, oh, I'm doing this, wasn't thinking about any sexual pleasure. I'm doing it right now, I wanna have an offspring from my brother's wife that passed away. I want to bring his neshama down, and he was completely pure. Right? He would go with that concept, with that kind of mindset. And that's why they had this concept of Hebrew.
Yeah.
And then later on, Chachamim saw that they're just doing it for the sexual pleasure, and they're not thinking about the brother, right? And then they started to saying they nullify it.
Right.
So the same concept here, okay? So let me know when to stop. Because this is a long one.
Oh.
Is it possible to stop?
Yeah.
We got to.
So we got to a point. Maybe later on that we will finish this part. But we got a point. The question is this.
Yeah.
The question is how is it possible the Chachamim they nullified a law that it wasn't
Ah.
So that's the question.
Not.
Because it wasn't Nishma. No?
Right. So the answer they give it here is because they were beginning they were Hasidim,
Right.
Aduma, they were doing everything Lishma.
For the sake of it.
Yeah, and then later on, they realized that they say, oh, what's going on? People are doing it just for their own personal...
So they were allowed to do that because they messed it up.
Yeah,
messed it up.
right.
Hazar Baruch. Amen v'amen.
If you want, maybe later on, we'll continue this concept.
Shara B'Zeh Hashem.